Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Mark from Suddenly Comics, and we are the Price Variants, and we're going to be talking about the hottest Silver Age comics of the week. It should be a interesting list. There is a theme. I'm not sure if Mark can figure out what the theme is, but there is a theme. Believe it or not, there is a theme because the books seem a little random. There is a bit of randomness to the books,
Okay,
but
I didn't spot a theme, so I'll have to
okay, so there is a theme. It's TV and movie related
oh, okay.
books.
All right. Okay. Right.
So yeah,
Okay, let's go and share the screen and we'll go from there. And our first comic, Alan, what is it with you and insects? Um
I
this
I
is
love this book.
I know you do. This is the second time we've had Adam Atom Ant on
I
it.
love this book. I just thought when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's so cool. You know, you can get a raw copy, for cheaper, right? But
Well, this only was
um,
$49. That's like the minimum possible on Heritage.
yeah, it's pretty
Something must
close
have
to the
been
minimum.
$1 or something, and the rest was buyer's.
I think it's like $30 buyer's premium or something like that, or something like that. It's like, so I think this was like maybe a $20 bid.
Okay.
Okay. But it's actually the cost of the slab, basically. You're basically buying a slab. But it's a great one. Adamant. And actually a 5.0 is not that low of a grade. It sounds low if you're a modern collector, but these books are always beat up because they were in the hands of kids, right? But it's a really nice presenting copy, and
It's
it's a
nice.
cool character. Adamant had like a TV series.
Yeah.
So that's the TV theme. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool, and this is his first appearance.
He's a Hanna-Barbera character.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I don't know. Just kind of a fun one. I don't know.
It's sort of like a Mighty Mouse type thing, isn't it?
Very much a Mighty Mouse kind of character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually did watch Adam Ant back in the day, probably reruns. I think obviously this is before my time, um, but I do remember him just being a fun character. So I love this book.
So
It's
the
just a
last time this was on, I said I didn't think this had been shown in the UK, and then I had a couple of people said, "Oh, yes, it was." So
okay.
I have to apologise. Yes, this was shown in the UK. And
Shown in Canada too.
I did actually go onto YouTube and did actually find the first ever broadcast of Atom Ant in the UK. I went and watched it. It was all right.
Okay.
I quite enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it's not bad. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
So you've become now an Adam Ant fan. Okay, cool.
I'm not sure about that. I definitely have bought this for $49 though.
Yeah, it seems cheap, doesn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, so let's see how well it performed. Like
Well, if ever one's ever been sold before. Oh, it has been sold before. I mean, it's not doing
oh,
anything, Alan. I mean, it's
well, it
slightly
looks like there was a massive sale way back when.
of $86. Oh no, that
Oh
was
my goodness.
$155 back in 2012.
$155. So wow. This and it's been a steal ever since. I don't know why it sold for so much back then. Like I know you can usually pick you don't normally see these graded because
Didn't he get another go on TV? I think there was a more modern Atom Ant show.
maybe I don't know. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth.
I think he was rebooted in the early.
And maybe that's why there was like,
Yeah,
or even maybe they were talking about rebooting. Even you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
wow, that's funny. So, yeah, this one did not perform well. Um, how many on the census?
Oh, it's going to be loads, something like 12, I should imagine. No,
I think
40,
it's one of those books you wouldn't get graded unless,
41.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually a high number for some of these obscure ones, right?
yeah. I mean, why would you get this graded? I mean, even this 50. So
Didn't sell for
you've
much.
spent you spent $30 to $40 getting it graded. Why would you do that?
Hmm. I have seen it like, and this is like just an aside. I have seen it where you can get dollar bin books graded. You spend like, okay, so you spend $1 on the book, you
Yeah,
find a nice looking copy, get it graded, and I've seen it because where you can sell it for like $60 to $100.
really?
Okay,
Who's
And
going to?
the reason why is, it'll be one of one on the census.
Yeah,
It'll be like, and people sometimes just want to have it like all the work done where it's graded and stuff.
yeah.
So I've seen it where people literally grade dollar bin books, and then
So
they
they're one
flip
of
it for a
one.
higher price.
So they're
So
all.
a good example of that is like if you look at any of the ones with the foil cards, I'm talking about the hologram
Yeah,
cards,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
the X-Men ones, like those are dollar bin books
yeah.
because
They are.
they had massive print
Yeah,
runs,
yeah.
but they sell for anywhere from $100 to $200 in a
What?
9.8.
I didn't
So
know.
so
Okay. That's
yeah,
it's quite
but
difficult to get because the problem is if you take your dollar bin comic and get it graded and it comes back a 9.0, you've wasted your money.
oh yeah, you got to find a nice copy. But when you look through the long box filled with them, you can find a nice copy. It's like literally you'll find whole long boxes of those books, right?
Yeah, life's too short, I think.
It's too short. Okay, but yeah, just so that was something I thought about doing, but it's so hard in Canada to get things graded. Um,
Oh, they're shoving it. I just did a CGC submission, and CGC had just are going to put prices up in the UK because I
oh
think
no.
trading in the UK has been actually come up with pretty decent value.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, I mean, when you were telling me about it, that you could just take it to London
yeah,
and then drop them off,
yeah,
and then they would do everything and
yeah.
bring it
And
back.
it's for a modern, it's $22
Oh,
plus
that's so
22.
cheap.
Sorry, £22 plus you pay £13 handling charge, but that's per
Okay.
category. That's per category. So if you long as you stick them all in the same category, so as long as they're all moderns,
It's
uh,
only a $13 one
so your
$13
13 your
charge,
£13 gets spread across 13
20
copies.
books. Okay. Okay,
And
that's
and
okay.
that covers all the freight out to the States, the grading, all the freight back. And if you go and pick them up again, so that has been pretty good value, but they're shoving their prices up about 30%.
Oh, that's brutal. Get all your books graded soon then.
Yeah,
Um, because that's cheap actually. That's cheaper than Canada.
yeah, yeah.
And you probably get them faster than we do too.
Yeah, but Mr. Trump likes us. He's not trying to take us over, so we don't have to pay tariffs.
You don't want to be the 52nd state? That would be funny actually. Everyone just okay, screw it. We'll just become a state of the United States. And the whole world just becomes one United States. That'd be funny.
Well,
Um
I think that's what Trump wants. I think Putin.
Okay, so what's the second book before we get
Right.
too
Oh, sorry, we
political?
got distracted there by politics. Um, now this is ridiculous. Okay, this is
This is another cheap one. I when I saw this, I was like thinking of you because I know you
Bronze Age
like
horror. I do.
Bronze Age, but this is a Silver Age horror.
Yeah,
But
no,
this is a
this
cool
counts.
title.
This is right at the edge of
Yeah, it is.
so, I have an argument with people about when did the Bronze Age.
Silver Age start. Yes,
Yeah.
this is barely.
And
This is like 1969.
I think there's an argument to be made saying that the Bronze Age starts in 1969 with the publishing of various Bronze Age horror comics. Uh,
Well, yeah, maybe I think you would actually have a pretty good case to make there,
yeah,
because
there's
really
about
what
five
defines
of
the
them.
Bronze Age is the weakening of the code, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so in 1969, this Chamber of Darkness, Tower of Shadows, House of Mystery changes to a horror anthology. House of Secrets changes to this all happened
Yep,
in 1969. So
yep.
I almost say that the beginning of the Bronze Age is actually this right at the end of 1969 when the Bronze Age these Bronze Age on horror anthologies start.
hmm by the way, I think whoever got this copy got a steal. I
Oh,
mean, this
this is
is
a ridiculously cheap price
for a 9.0.
for a
I
9.0.
mean,
This is
those Bronze Age horror, like
yeah,
finding them in the high grade is almost
yeah,
impossible.
yeah, and this has got this is a John Romita cover. You got
Hmm
Neil Adams in here, Roy Thomas, Archie Goodwin. I mean, I have done
And it's a cool cover too. It's The
a great
Mask of the Red
cover. Yeah,
Death.
yeah,
I like that movie with Vincent Price way
yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah,
Great movie.
yeah. I mean, look at this Ramita cover.
Yeah, I mean it's great. You got a good girl in there as well, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. You got
Um, just a really great one.
a Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Guy Harley Quinn, but sure.
Well, the character Harley Quinn
I know.
is
Yeah,
a
it's Harley Quinn and Harlequin. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Right. $69. That is outrageously cheap.
Yeah. I'm curious. I think this will be a down price on this one. I'm
So,
just gonna guess. That's my guess.
well, you're right.
Like not that many sales of it, but yeah.
No. I
So
mean,
what was that?
this is so the peak was $100. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So yeah. So and the peak. When did the peak happen?
during COVID.
Okay, so that's a COVID peak, even though it's not much of a peak. And actually this might be even below pre-COVID prices if that's there's one dot before it, right?
Yeah, that's pre-COVID at $75. Yeah, so it is slightly below pre-COVID,
So it
$6.
just doesn't sell for much. I mean, it's not a title
There's
that
only
people
73 on the census. Again, this will be, is it worth grading? You know,
yeah.
the 9.0 is only hitting $69. You know, it's not really worth grading this unless you've got one that you think is higher than a 9.0.
I think what happens is when people grade they see it and they think it's a nine, just what we were talking about just a minute ago. Like if you think it's a nine or higher, you might think, okay, maybe if I get a 9.4 or 9.6, it'll be worth it. It's sort of a gamble, right? And
Yeah.
probably they gambled thinking they would get a higher grade.
Right. A question for you, Alan. Testing trivia question. What's this?
Oh, the dragon one?
What? No, what's this called? Who's this guy called?
That's Abraham Lincoln or
It's not
somebody,
Abraham.
but
It's not Abraham.
it's like an Abraham Lincoln like character. Um, but what's the guy? I don't.
This guy is called Headstone P. Gravely.
I actually knew that. Strangely, I didn't know that that was him, but I knew the name. And the
And
reason I knew the name was there was somebody that on my Wednesday videos where I do all these things. They asked me about all of the different Bronze Age horror
presenters.
narrators.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Gravely was one of them.
yeah.
And I gave all the first. I don't remember what I said, but I forget. But I gave what all the first appearances were and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool.
He actually
That's
does
that.
a double act with a character called Digger.
Oh
Uh,
yes,
so
yes, that was another one I had to look up.
Is on Tower of Shadows, but actually they
Hmm.
cross over.
Okay.
So it's not always Headstone P. Gravely here and Digger on Tower of
Headstone
Shadows.
Pete
They
Gravely.
switch.
Okay. I'll have to remember that from now on. Okay. Ask me next tomorrow and I'll totally forget, but I'll try to remember.
Right.
Headstone Gravely. Okay.
Headstone P. Gravely. Don't forget his P.
I won't forget the P.
All right. Oh, look, I love this one.
This
Okay.
was a good one. When I saw this, I had to put it on the list.
Yeah.
It's just too
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
This is the Munsters #1.
Yeah.
And there's some times when I actually prefer a photo cover. And this is one of those cases
Yeah.
where
Yes.
it's just such a well-known show
Yeah.
and having Herman Monster on the cover is just it makes it work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it does. I was lucky enough to pick up a
I
complete.
have this as well,
Yeah,
actually.
I've got a complete set of the monsters that I
Oh,
picked.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I picked them
Okay,
up.
I just have #1.
No,
But
I've got a
yeah.
set of them. I picked them up in an auction about 3 or 4 years ago for a ridiculously
Oh,
small sum of money, and they're
I
great.
mean, it's such a great set
Yeah, it's
to get.
fantastic set. Yeah, they're not all, isn't it? They're probably, yeah, they're probably 5.0s, 4.5s. You know, they're not high
Mhm.
grade, but they're great to have. Even, that looks okay in a five, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty copy. I think mine's probably similar grade.
Yeah,
I actually paid a fair amount for mine. Less than this, but fair amount.
not
I think
not
I have
quite. Yeah,
150 or something
yeah.
like
No,
that.
they go
But
for
mine's
big.
raw.
I mean, I think we've got a photo on the back as well. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Such a great book. Like, very nostalgic. Like I liked watching the Munsters and Adam's Family as a kid.
Yes,
Actually, in some ways, I like the Munsters better.
I like them both. Probably about equal, actually. I like them both equally. They were slightly different.
Yeah, like I found that the Munsters were a little bit more lovable.
Yes, I mean Herman's a bit more lovable than the guy in
Yeah,
charge of the Adams family, isn't he? He's a bit kind.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I like both, but yeah, I had a preference for the Munsters.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, so I thought this was a good one. I think this is about right for the price on this.
yeah.
I don't think this is like high or low.
I
It's
think
about
I
right.
agree with you. Fred Gwynn, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yvonne De Carlo,
Yvonne De Carlo.
Fred
And
Gwynn on the back, and Fred Frederick Story and Art.
I actually have Yvonne De Carlo's first appearance. It's in some Western book.
Really?
Yeah. Where she's on the
Another
cover.
photo cover.
It's another photo cover with her on the cover. It's her first appearance in comics.
Okay, oh, interesting.
Hmm.
Right. I would have thought I wouldn't have known anything else she was in. Right.
Well, she was a well-known actress before the Munsters, and
Okay.
she actually didn't really want to do the Munsters because she was like, but she was kind of a little bit hard up at that point.
So she had to join in.
Yeah.
It's sort of
Yeah, it's like whatever day.
yeah,
It's, up or down based on the day.
yeah, yeah.
So what was the high on this one? Like it looks like it was like that maybe second sale or
That
yeah.
was 270 in September last year.
So this book probably just fluctuates in around that 250 mark, I would
Yeah,
guess.
I think so. You know, it's not going anywhere because modern generation have not don't know who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. They probably just know they would know the Adams family, but not the Munsters.
Yeah.
Um Actually I think this is a kind of a good spec in a way. Because like if in a weird way it kind of gets pulled along by the Adams family. Like if the Adams family does well and they say, well, gee, maybe we should reboot the
The
Munsters.
monsters, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah. So how many on the census?
136.
Okay. I mean, it's
This
one
is
that you
not
want to get
these
graded, not for the
you don't
price.
see these very often. These are rare.
Yeah, I think people would get it graded not because they think, oh, I'm going to make a huge money on it. It's just to present it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Very
Very
cool
nice.
book.
Enjoyed that one. Right. Right, Alan, I have to tell you, I can't find this on Go Collect. This is really
Yeah. So this one I was like, what is this? This is just so weird. Um, so Heritage actually stated that this is the first time that they've had this book on for auction,
okay. Well,
and
it's
it's
not
not
on
even
Go
listed in
Collect. I
Overstreet.
can't give you any price guideline.
It's one that's not even listed in Overstreet. So it's just a weird one. It's 240. What does the description say? Like can you read the description?
Yeah, it says the Eye Special, White House of Comics, 1965. This is the very first time in our history that we've offered a copy of this indie with a BJ White story cover and art. Title not listed in Overstreet.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I always found that
it's not on Go Collect either.
I find that these books are interesting because what does it go for?
Yeah. There is a later
You don't know
version
how
of the
many
eye. There was a later version of the eye 20 years later. So there is an eye special from about 1987 or something, but it's not the same one as
oh,
this.
okay, interesting. But I mean, like, I always wonder how people can price these out. So, really, this kind of auction establishes the value for this book.
Yeah, there is the eye from 1999,
Wow.
but there was none, the one we've got looking at here. So obviously somebody's picked the character up from 1965.
Hmm.
and read The Return of the World's Weirdest Hero. Yeah.
Interesting. And how
Um,
much does that go for?
Virtually nothing, I should think.
It doesn't have a sale, so yeah,
Uh,
we don't know. Very interesting. Like, again, like these obscure comics, it's, I always wonder how you bid. Like you gotta, like we've seen it in the past with a few comics where it's a one of one kind of sale. And then another sale will happen later and it'll either go for more or less, it'll go
well,
for like extreme.
that's the type of comic I'll find one day in a stack of comics I bought in auction for a pound each.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's one of those ones you could probably find in a dollar bin,
Oh,
but actually
definitely.
it's probably worth a fair amount because
Well,
it
yeah,
is
it
so
sold
obscure.
for, what did it sell for? It sold for
200 and
$40.
yeah, 300, 240, not bad. So yeah, so I thought it was interesting. It's a really obscure one. I'm not sure if they ever had a show or anything, but I just this is maybe not in the theme, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Because occasionally because I buy weird stuff. Um, because you can get an occasion. So I bought a lot. I bought a load yesterday. I bought a bunch of 50 odd comics, which they described as adult. They,
Okay.
but there were some adult ones, but they were mostly underground stuff.
Yeah, well, Underground doesn't have to be adult, but
No,
it always gets flagged as adult.
yeah, exactly. And I know what I mean. There's that the stuff that I knew what they were. So, for instance, there was a Creatures of the Id #1 in there in high
Oh wow,
in high
that's a big
grade
book.
in high grade for a pound. Uh,
Oh, that I would, yeah, I'll give you two for it.
no,
Double your money.
it's worth about 300 if it's a nine
I
one.
know.
I know.
I
Um,
actually picked it up. Like there was a huge sale on Heritage for that book,
was
and
there?
then I ran over to eBay to pick it up because I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
And so I picked it up actually relatively good price. But after that, they went crazy in terms of price because people. I don't think people realize that it's a key first appearance.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, exactly. So this was just stuck in a bottle. They didn't even show a picture of it. I didn't even know it was in
it's
there.
Madman's first
Yeah,
appearance.
it's just
That's
Madman's first appearance. Yeah, so I didn't even know
mm,
it was in there until I unpacked the. I just went, oh, I know what that is. That's worth more than
yeah,
that's worth more than a pound.
exactly. Yeah, that's very cool.
Anyway, sorry. Back to I've no. This is how I find. This is how I'll get one of these. I was just suddenly
Yeah.
appear in a stack.
Well,
Nobody
in a
knows
way,
what it
that's
is.
why I put it on the list because it's one that I want to put on people's radars, right?
Yeah.
Just I mean, this is an easy one to remember. I is pretty, and it's looks like an interesting, weird book. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
last one, I
Uh,
think.
Last one. The Brave and the Bold, number 57.
And you know what this is, right?
This is it's Metamorpho. I think it is, isn't it?
Yep, Metamorpho's first appearance.
Yeah, I do have this. First appearance of Sapphire Stag, Simon Stag, and Jarvie. You get four first appearances here.
Wow.
Bob Haney story, Ramona Fradden cover and art. Never heard
Hmm.
of Ramona Fradden, but
Me me either. But this is a cool book, and there's obviously a lot of spec related to this book
well,
because of
Metamorpho's in the Superman movie, isn't he?
yes, yes, yes.
Um, yeah, an unloved book for ages. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I've had this for 40 years.
Oh wow.
Because I collect Brave and the Bold, so I bought this back in 19 late 70s, early 80s, probably.
Hmm. Yeah, but a very cool book.
Yeah, yeah,
Great character actually.
yeah.
I think he's a really interesting character. Um,
And of course, the cover, you like the cover because it's got him on it and he's showing his powers.
I always love that. Yeah, that's important to me. I like it when not only like if they put it on the cover with all his different powers, that means that they've clearly thought of what this character is going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of the time, like certain characters like the Hulk, they really didn't know what he was going to be.
No, he developed.
Yeah, but Metamorpho, they kind of knew right off the bat, this is what the character will be, this is what his powers will be, and I think that's cooler.
Yeah. So this sold for 456. That's probably about right, I think.
Oh, really? I think that seems a little bit low, but
Yeah, but these don't sell for huge amounts of money. Yeah, it's about right. Yeah, it's near its peak.
it's near. It seems like this book goes all over the place.
Yeah, it went down. There's a real low sale here.
Let me guys steal. Yeah.
We're actually at COVID price.
Oh,
We're actually
okay.
higher than COVID price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So that
we're higher
other
than
bump,
COVID. We're higher than COVID.
probably that other bump that we see just before this one,
Yeah,
is trailer drop or something like
yeah.
that.
August last year, August 23. So probably the rumor came out we were going to get Metamorpho in the Superman movie.
Yeah, yeah. I think this book actually will probably like whoever got it at this price, probably even though it seems like a high price compared to wherever it was before. Um, I think this was actually a good price. I
No,
think
because the
it,
previous sale had been 600. So yes, I think this is a good price, 456.
yeah. So my point is like they will, there's a lot of room for this book to grow.
Yeah,
Um, because Metamorpho is a respectable character in terms of, it's not like one of those random ones that, oh, they made a weird little appearance and therefore it appearing in a
yeah,
movie will
yeah,
make it spike.
yeah,
This is a respectable character that never got the love that he deserved.
yeah.
I think that bodes better as
Well,
like a long-term spec.
there's three characters appearing in the Superman film that I put into that category, though. So there's
Like Hawk Girl is another
yeah,
one.
Hawk Girl and Mr. Terrific. You know, both all
Yeah, all of them very respectable characters, like characters that are used but not appreciated as much as they should be.
yeah, yeah.
But Mr. Terrific's first appearance is really expensive.
Is it a Golden Age comic?
It's Sensation One.
Oh, okay. I won't go for one of those then. I've got
Yeah,
his
so
first Silver Age appearance.
yeah, there is a first Silver Age, which will probably go up a bit,
That's
but
very affordable. That's in a
yeah,
Justice League America.
yeah.
Okay,
But,
right.
but yeah, so wait, quickly, what's the census count? Is
Census
it one of those DC censuses where it's really low?
646, which is reasonable for one of.
Yeah, that's kind of DC level,
Yeah, it is.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, very interesting. So that's my five. On Mark's channel, I do much bigger books. The books that are on Mark's channel are the big ones. And I think there's one that you will be a little bit surprised by. So go over to Mark's channel and check out the top five of the top 10 list, and I think you'll enjoy it. So bye for now, guys.
Right.